Debemos irnos ya.
Papá.
Tiago, sube con tu madre al camión. Toma esto. Siempre será tu guía.
Sí, papá.
Nos reuniremos pronto.
Xavier, el cuadro.
La maledición. Por aquí.
Es demasiado tarde. ¡Vamos! ¡No, papá!
Señor, aquí dentro. Búsquenlos. Por supuesto.
París en primavera. Pasión. Romance. L'amour. Yo trabajaba en una aseguradora de arte. Pagaba el alquiler, más o menos. Y entonces, por casualidad, me encontré a Nico en una vista privada.
¿No me dijiste que habías vuelto a París, George?
Tenemos que ponernos al día. ¿Vamos a comer?
Que nadie se mueva. No, monsieur. La maledición, no. Atrás.
Una vez más, París me enseñaba su lado oscuro. Un atraco brutal. Un asesinato absurdo. Nico y yo estábamos a punto de sumergirnos en una nueva y aterradora aventura.
The gallery owner was dead. I guess sometimes playing the hero doesn't pay. My company had insured the exhibition, so I had a crime to solve. The cops would be here soon. I didn't have much time. Excuse me, Father.
Yes, my son.
I'm George Stobart. My company insured the exhibition.
My name is Simeon.
Is there anything I can do?
You can pray for his soul.
A senseless murder.
On the contrary, this killing makes plenty of sense.
What do you mean?
A great evil has taken place. This is the work of the devil.
What?
I am a Dominican priest. I know these things. And now, excuse me, I must pray.
1 minute, I'd been planning dinner with Nico. The next, I was talking art theft, murder, and the devil with a priest. He definitely looked better. I put the glasses back where they were. Best to leave the evidence the way I found it. Poor guy. In Henri's pocket was a tiny bottle. It was a bottle of Brett. The label claimed it would wake the beast within. There was a small piece of paper in the dead man's hand. It was too intriguing not to take a look. It read, 2:30 p.m., be ready. Innocent enough, until I realized that the robbery took place at 2:30 p.m. There was something fishy going on around here, and it wasn't just the canapes. I quickly replaced the note. Ah, Brett, the fragrance that dare not speak its name. It was my phone, mankind's most treasured possession. A cryptic note in a bottle of overpowering cologne. No personal effects or anything else of substance. I needed to find where he kept his records. As they say, every artist was first an amateur. I could have bought a nice car for the price of that. Spanish modernists certainly didn't come cheap. I wondered how many paintings they'd sold at these prices. The poster looked old. I didn't want to touch it. It was Hector Lane, France's greatest art critic. We'd met before. It hadn't ended well. For a moment, I thought he was dead, but from the snoring, I guessed he'd only fainted. Lane was out cold. I was going to need something to bring him around. In the pocket was a pair of nail clippers. They were monogrammed with the letters HL. Time to awaken the beast. What?
What was that? It smells like the 70s. Where am I?
You fainted. Welcome back to the land of the living.
I wouldn't exactly call this living. Don't just stand there. Get me something to eat. I've had a terrible shock, you know.
It was a blob of chewed gum. The thief left the pizza box behind. I wondered what was in it. Well, no surprise there. Pizza. The guy must have been hungry. There was only one slice left. No one had noticed the pizza box fall onto the floor. I decided to leave it alone. The alarm still worked on that painting. I wondered why the stolen painting's alarm hadn't sounded. All I needed was a mere $65,000, and this little gem could be mine. $55,000. Huh, shame. Just outside my price range. Father?
Yes, my son.
What did you mean when you said that a great evil had taken place?
Your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour.
What?
Peter 5:8. The devil is all around, Mr. Stobart.
Did Henri say anything before he died?
He said, "Stop the car, I want to get in."
What does that mean?
We may never know.
What brought you to the exhibition, Father?
The painting.
Which one?
La Maledictio, of course.
The painting that was stolen.
I had to confront the evil.
What do you know about the man who painted La Maledictio?
El Serp. He was a man playing with fire, the fire of eternal damnation.
Tell me about the stolen painting.
Whoever gets close to it will burn in hell.
Hey, Father, how about a squirt?
I think not.
Do you recognize these?
Nail clippers? I'm not sure what your point is.
Would you like this piece of pizza?
A man has just died. No, thank you.
Excuse me, Mr. Lane.
Food! My nerves demand food!
I found a slice of pizza.
I asked for food, boy, not a cardboard simulacrum.
Oh, okay, if you don't want it.
I didn't say that. Now give it here. Given the circumstances, that was surprisingly acceptable. Now, what's been going on? Oh, Henri, is he
Dead? Afraid so.
poor chap? Just like him to steal the limelight, though.
Excuse me.
Do I know you?
Yes, our paths have crossed in the Glees Gallery.
Of course, the man with the absinthe. I don't suppose you...
Afraid not.
Pity. I'm sorry, but I'm having trouble remembering your name.
I'm George Stobart. I insured the exhibition.
I hope you have deep pockets then, my boy.
Could I ask you a few questions, Mr. Lane?
Fire away.
Did you know the gallery owner?
Of course, we worked together on the exhibition.
Oh, really?
Henri provided the space. I was the creative powerhouse.
How long had you known him?
As a friend, many years. Our professional relationship had only recently blossomed into this exhibition, under my curatorial wing. And now the poor fellow has gone and got himself killed.
Do you know anything about the stolen painting?
Of course, dear boy. La Maledictio, a little-known work, turned up at the last minute.
What about the killer? Were you able to get a look at him?
A delinquent in a tin hat. Beyond that, I don't really recall.
Oh, yeah, you fainted.
Those of us with a higher aesthetic are more sensitive to violence.
So you curated the exhibition? What's it about?
A brilliant retrospective. A dialectical window on European art's ongoing discourse with the unresolved psychoses of the nation-state.
Wow, you took the words right out of my mouth. Who painted the stolen painting?
Therein lies a mystery. We only know his pseudonym, El Serp. He was a Catalan, a modernist. His works are symbolic, religious.
What can you tell me about the stolen painting?
La Maledictio, a challenging piece. If you like a wide cast of obscure saints and fringe Christian symbolism, of course. Not especially valuable, though. The thief won't get much for it on the black market.
How about some more of this?
I don't think so. As a sel volatile, it was acceptable. As a cologne, it would be barbaric.
Are these your nail clippers?
Of course. See, they're monogrammed with my initials.
Are these your nail clippers?
As I said, they bear my monogram.
The bust was balanced precariously on the pedestal. I didn't want to knock it off. For the discerning connoisseur, a soupçon at 80,000. With luck, the security camera had captured the robbery. The cable for the camera ran into the room marked private. Just 90,000 for this one. Another alarm working as it should. The label said it was painted in 1932. The gallery wanted 80 grand for it. A rare glimpse into the absinthe-addled mind of the artist. A snip at only 80 grand. Another working alarm. Was the alarm on the stolen painting the only one that wasn't working? Another working alarm. Was the alarm on the stolen painting the only one that wasn't working? This was where the stolen painting had hung. Why that painting? And why kill for it? The stolen painting had an alarm, which should have sounded when the painting was removed. I needed to find out why it hadn't. I pressed the vibration detector pad. Nothing happened. I pressed the vibration detector pad. Nothing happened. So, the alarm wasn't broken. I suspected foul play. So that was why the alarm hadn't sounded. A wire had been cut by someone who knew exactly what they were doing. This was an inside job. It was the speaker cone for the alarm. It hadn't sounded when the painting was stolen. The pressure pad, but the cut wire had ensured that the alarm wouldn't sound when the painting was removed. The pressure pad appeared to be working fine, but the cut wire had ensured that the alarm wouldn't sound when the painting was removed. The door was locked with a keypad. If I wanted to get in there and look at the CCTV footage, then I'd need to find the number. Lane worked with Henri, so he was likely to know the code. I need to ask you a few more questions.
If you insist. I'm still in shock, you know.
So, you help run this place? Maybe you can give me the code to that door.
The code to the office?
I just thought you might have the number.
I do, but I couldn't possibly give you access before the police arrive.
I figured I wasn't going to get the door code from Lane by playing nice. I needed to turn the heat up. Mr. Lane, you're really going to have to give me the code to that door.
And why, pray, should I do that?
Because the way the cops will see it, you're the prime suspect. We both know you're innocent, Mr. Lane, but the cops, well, they may not see things so simply. I might be able to get them off your case, but in exchange, I'd like the code for the office door.
But that's preposterous. The police would have neither evidence nor motive.
Funny you should mention that. Someone sabotaged the alarm on the stolen painting. A wire was cut.
What? Who could have got into the alarm system?
Exactly. It was an inside job, Mr. Lane.
You're not suggesting that I...
Well, I'm afraid that's the way the cops are going to see it.
That's preposterous. How could I possibly have cut the wire?
Are these your nail clippers, Mr. Lane?
Yes, they have my initials monogrammed on them.
Huh. The perfect implement for cutting the alarm on the stolen painting.
What are you saying?
Well, the alarm was sabotaged, Mr. Lane. It was an inside job.
Are you accusing me? How dare you? I had no reason to kill Henri, no motive whatsoever.
Okay, but I don't think the cops will see it like that. And I sure would like that door code. This is an inside job for sure, Mr. Lane. The police are going to be very interested in your recent movements.
I've been out of town for several days, and last night I retired early.
Just saying.
You're not going to scare me into giving you that door code, you know.
I was onto something here, and I knew it. Lane was sweating. It wasn't pretty. How about it, Mr. Lane? Ready to give me the door code yet?
Certainly not. Give me a single reason why I should.
Guilty by way of nail clippers.
I've been away from Paris for several days and only got back this morning. How could I have cut that wire?
So you'd been out of town and hit the sack early last night?
That's right. I've not been near the gallery for days.
Mr. Lane, this robbery is not going to reflect well on you.
As I said, I shall take my chances. You're not getting that door code.
I hate to say this, Mr. Lane, but you're going to be the #1 suspect for this murder.
So you keep saying, Mr. Stobart.
Guilty by way of nail clippers.
Sheer fantasy. What possible motivation could I have to sabotage the alarm? Ugh, keep that noxious potion away from me.
Father?
Yes, my son.
I think there's something strange going on here.
Yes, Mr. Stobart. At last you see the truth.
No, Father. I mean that the robbery looks like an inside job.
The devil's work is always an inside job.
A wire in the painting's alarm was deliberately cut.
Cut by the devil himself, perhaps.
Well, as far as I know, sightings of guys with horns and tails have been a little down recently.
You mock me, Mr. Stobart. But as you will discover, the devil likes to have the last laugh.
Do you know the code to get into the office?
No, but you could always pray and ask for divine guidance.
With respect, Father, I'm looking for a slightly quicker solution. Do you know anything else about El Serp?
I've already told you everything I can.
Is there anything else you can tell me about La Maledizio?
I've said everything I care to on the subject.
Take a look at this, Father.
I've already given you my thoughts about that.
Take a look at this, Father.
I've already given you my thoughts about that.
How about it, Mr. Lane? Ready to give me the door code yet?
Certainly not. Give me a single reason why I should.
Guilty by way of nail clippers.
I've been away from Paris.
The street was quiet and upmarket. Not the kind of place for an opportunist thief. From out here, you couldn't see the stolen painting. This robbery was definitely planned. The room looked like some sort of office for the gallery. I could just see the glow of the CCTV monitor in the corner. You gotta hand it to the French. They know how to take a leak in style. I've always been a sucker for Parisian stained glass. The menu offered black coffee and a short list of soft drinks. Excuse me.
Monsieur?
There's just been a robbery at the gallery.
Oh, really?
You don't sound surprised.
All property is theft, monsieur. And all art is property. Therefore, all art is theft. Do you not agree?
Well, when you put it like that, it's hard not to. Did you see anybody run out of the gallery earlier?
There was a beautiful woman with a camera. She was chasing somebody.
Oh, that must have been Nico.
You know her? You surprise me.
Can you tell me anything about the man she was chasing?
I assume, monsieur, that like all of us, he is inherently unknowable.
No wonder this guy's cafe was empty. The gallery owner, Henri, was shot dead trying to stop the robbery.
Life has no meaning the moment you lose the illusion of being eternal.
Right. Did you know him well?
Can we ever truly know another human being, monsieur? He spent little time at the cafe, unlike his friend, Monsieur Lane.
What do you know about Le Lizard Bleu?
It's bourgeois, vacuous, and overpriced. Just like its curator Lane. He's always in here, you know, talking art to his latest flusée.
What do you know about Hector Lane?
Lane? Oh yes. He drinks here sometimes. He slid away last night without paying.
Last night? What sort of time?
After midnight for sure. If you see him, give him this bill and tell him to pay up next time.
The check was from last night. But Lane told me he was nowhere near the gallery. This could be the leverage I needed to get the office door code from Lane. Would you like a squirt of this?
Are you suggesting I smell, monsieur?
No, sorry. Do you recognize these?
They are nail clippers.
Thank you for your consistent indifference, monsieur.
Perhaps next time you come, I will give you a coffee. Perhaps not.
The Sacré-Cœur Basilica, the highest point in Paris. Impressive. Lane had run up quite a bill at the cafe. Take a look at this.
What of it?
It's your bill from the cafe next door.
so?
It's dated yesterday. Last night, in fact. 12:30 to be exact. You said you were out of town. You sure drank a lot of champagne last night without paying the bill. But you told me that you were away from Paris last night. I hate to say it, but that sounds like a lie to me. Tell you what, you give me the code to the door, and the police need never know. A motive and proof of involvement. Not looking good, Mr. Lane.
You are a blackmailer, Stobart.
Just doing my job.
All right. You have me. The number is 6397. But I admit to none of these spurious accusations.
I had the code. The police would be here any moment, so I had to work fast. What was that number again? 64...
Everyone, hold it right there.
Damn it.
I am Inspector Navet of the Paris Serious Crime Squad, and I hereby declare this crime scene open. Closed. Now, nobody move, especially you on the floor. Mo, I want a total lockdown. Nobody in or out. Apart from me, of course.
I needed to get back into the gallery, but a familiar figure was guarding the door. It was Sergeant Mou. Our paths had crossed before. Sergeant Mou, we meet again.
Aha, Madame Collard. An unexpected pleasure.
I was in the gallery at the time of the theft. Can I get back in?
I am sorry, but I am under strict orders from Inspector Navet. Nobody in, nobody out. And I must correct you, madame. It is no longer just a theft. It is a murder.
Mon Dieu! That poor man! I witnessed the crime. I've got to get back in there.
I'm sure you can make an official statement in good time.
I saw the thief. I think I can help the investigation.
I am implacable, Madame Collard.
Who is Inspector Navet?
The most promising young investigator on the force. A genius. A man blessed with almost superhuman insight.
He sounds highly perspicacious.
Madame, it is not for us to talk about the inspector's sweaty proclivities. He is about to solve his third case in as many days.
So, what's he got that the other investigators don't have?
Blood spatter. He is the world expert. He reads the entrails of the crime scene like a book.
I chased after the shooter and got a photo of him.
Inspector Navet will be delighted.
You've got to let me into the gallery to show him.
Absolutely not.
So, I cannot go in without Inspector Navet's permission?
No.
And to get Inspector Navet's permission, I need to go in.
Exactement.
Have you ever heard of Kafka, Sergeant Mou?
Madame Collard, I do not see what soccer players have to do with this.
No, he's a... Never mind. Here's my press card. Do you have a statement for the paper?
Yes, madame. Stay away from the crime scene and let the police do their job. And always leave a light on when you go out at night.
I really need to get into the gallery and speak to Inspector Navet.
Tut. He is not to be disturbed. He is applying his famous scientific methods. Any moment now, the case will be cracked. I certainly hope so. I am dog-tired and want to go home.
This was madness. Sergeant Mou wasn't going to let me in. Why are you so tired, Sergeant Mou?
I have been working for 3 days with no rest. Nave is a genius in his field, and he assumes that we all have his energy and vigor.
Oh, you poor man. If you'd like to go and get some sleep, I will watch the door for you.
That's very thoughtful of you. Ha! A cunning attempt to make me a deserter, madame. A gendarme never leaves his post.
Well, how about a hot drink?
Ah, that would do the trick for sure. Unfortunately, I mustn't drink on duty. My doctor specifically warned me against it after the last incident.
That incident you mentioned, what happened exactly?
I don't want to talk about it. All I can say is it was very unfortunate. I am on duty, and I need to focus.
Thanks a lot, Sergeant Moo. You've been so helpful.
Madame,
Bonjour, monsieur.
whatever it is you want, we are closed.
Then why are you standing here?
You would not understand, madame.
Try me.
Because I look at you, and I know you are like all the others.
The others?
The pretty women who shop, who gossip, who have their spa days, their almond croissant.
That bad, huh?
And the men with their grooming products and their shiny shoes and their skinny suits who come to my cafe and ask me for lattes, macchiatos, frappe.
I see your point.
Is this what we fought on the barricades for, madame? Ripped up the paving slabs, bled on the streets.
Isn't it?
No, madame, it is not. We fought for ideas, for philosophy, for freedom, equality, fraternity.
Vive la révolution.
And do you know what drove us on as we fought? What fueled the streets of Paris in that glorious spring? What made our hearts soar?
Cheap wine and free sex?
No, madame, no! It was French Café Noir that inspired us. The simple demi-tasse. The black, sweet taste of freedom.
So that's why you closed?
Yes, madame. I serve only thinkers, philosophers, revolutionaries. And you, madame, with your polite top and your pointy ears, are none of those things.
This is a cafe.
Yes, to the right people.
On any other day, I would have given this guy a straight one to the chin. But there was a chance he could help me get into the gallery. Monsieur.
Life is fleeting, madame. The sands of time are...
Well, that may be, but
We know not what we want, and yet we...
there's been a crime.
That is terrible.
No, but I think you're...
Life begins... C'est vrai, no?
Well, like... He was pushing me to the point of despair.
During the riots,
Oh, really?
it was. Except that we made coffee, but I've never brewed. Of course, our brave heroes. But with our coffee...
None of this was helping me get past Sergeant...
Au revoir.
Here's my press card.
La liberté. Madame, you are not the person that I took you to be. You must accept my deepest, my most profound apologies.
Well, of course I accept. But why?
La liberté. The great journal of freedom. At the height of the battle, as the tear gas blew and the blood flowed, it was La Liberté which carried the voice of our revolution to the world. I know now that you are not the kind of woman who would ask me for almond croissant. You are a true daughter of France, and I am your humble servant.
Monsieur,
The road to enlightenment is
could we have a...
any.
Did you see anything happen at the
I saw you running after a pizza delivery guy.
That's true. He stole a painting.
How close we are to death.
Well, right now
I applaud you, madame.
as a journalist. How about some coffee?
For you, madame, there is only one coffee that I can serve. One moment. Here is your coffee, madame.
Thank you, monsieur. The coffee was hot and... Could you make me a coffee?
For a fellow rev... One moment. Here's your takeaway coffee, madame.
Thank you, monsieur. The waiter didn't need to see. Sergeant Moo, I brought...
Coffee? But wait. I must not.
I'm sure one...
I am tempted, madame.
So, this since I did...
It is a...
I'm all...
Well,
Please do...
I was in charge of canines. One day, en vacances, I stayed alone with his dog. But, so I tied the... When I came back, liaison dans...
But how did they...
Well, 2 months later, and I was busted.
You are a victim.
You think?
But of course, you...
Well,
It...
yes.
And by drinking that coffee, you... And now France is calling... She is...
I suppose...
Bravo!
Oh dear. Oh dear. It has gone straight... Could you...
Oh, you... I distracted Moo. It was now or never.
How did you get past Sergeant Moo? Well, you won't fool me so easily, madame. I shall question you later.
Nico, am I glad to see you.
I managed to grab a couple of photos, but the guy got away.
Poor Henri is dead.
I know.
I've been trying to find out. Turns out
So, no ordinary...
And no ordinary painting. I need to get into the office and see...
So, what's...
The inspector's watching me like a hawk.
I'll see what I can do. Inspector Navet, do you have a moment?
My time is of the essence.
Did you see the alarm was...
I have interrogated the crime scene, madame. I prefer biological evidence.
Don't you think the disabled...
The forensic team will be along. Do not bother me with this.
I suppose this is quite...
It is a robbery gone bad.
Surely there's a bit more...
Please abstain from... The victim's body paints a simple picture. Consider the impact of the bullet and note the concomitant lack of...
Don't you find it odd?
Life is full of odd things, madame. Fingerless gloves, white dog poop. I prefer to concern...
Why don't you check out the security camera?
Madame, that is not my area of expertise.
But the CCTV footage is evidence. It could help I...
Correction, madame. It is but an indicator. Unless you know something I don't, then...
The only evidence Inspector Nave seemed to have... What do you think about the American?
He is deeply suspicious.
Could you give me a statement, Inspector?
Now is...
Thanks, Inspector. If I was going to distract Nave, I needed to unearth new evidence or concoct some. And the bloodier, the better. My smartphone, possibly the journalist's most important tool. Are you Hector Lane, the...
Enchanté.
I'm Nico.
Ah, of...
What can you tell me about the...
It was called La Male...
Who was the...
A mysterious figure known only as... He was good, but not...
What can you tell me about...
Oh, it was truly awful.
Have you spoken to...
The American...
Yes.
He promised to clear up any
What can you tell me about Henri's involvement?
Dear Henri, a shining... He owned the gallery. What will we do?
Tell me about the shooting.
Well, it all happened.
Take your time. What did you...
I can't be sure.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I'm on a tight deadline.
I would have tackled it.
Did you know that the alarm...
No. I suppose that's...
Here's my press card.
And there was I thinking you were...
Thanks for your help, monsieur. I wasn't going to get anything useful from Lane. Excuse me.
Father,
are you okay?
It's a terrible...
Could I ask you?
What kind?
I'm a
I suppose it cannot.
Why did you come to...
God brought me here.
What do you...
I knew there was great evil in La Ma. The painter was...
Evil?
I wanted to bear witness.
Well, I think it...
Really? I'd say his work here...
That wasn't going... Did you see anything that...
The devil takes many forms.
Anything?
I'm sorry, my...
What do you know about...
An innocent... If he was peddling such blasphemous...
Father Sim... What can you tell me?
Grotesque.
How can a...
By killing.
Does that mean...
Laugh...
Do you know anything about...
He was a...
How can you...
It is clear.
Father Sim... This is my press card.
Good.
Thank you for your time. The priest had nothing useful to offer. The tomato sauce had splattered on the floor. No way was I going to clean that up with my bare hands. No way was I going to clean that. I needed to try something else. I scraped up the chewing gum with my press card, hoping the inspector wouldn't notice. Inspector!
Yes?
Do you want this chewing gum?
Madame, I do not take bribes.
That wouldn't happen. Hey, Georges, look at my press card.
I see Ronnie hasn't fired you yet.
Not for want of trying. I'd never met the gallery owner before. The bust was... At least now the place was a little... That wouldn't have worked. Calling Ronnie wouldn't have been a... I decided to... Getting in had not been easy. I needed to stay to pursue the investigation. This is my press card.
Good.
Josh,
Yeah, Nick.
so why do you need to...
I'm pretty sure the
So, what...
super...
What if I...
You do...
That's a deal. Somehow, I had to get the inspector... Inspector!
Yes?
Have you seen that stain on the floor by...
I don't have time to wait. Please.
What flavor do you...
I do not...
Thanks, Inspector. I'll let you know if I remember. A CC. That wouldn't make sense. It was the alarm for George. That wasn't worth trying. It was a nice idea. No, I needed a... Monsieur.
My...
Thanks for your help. Lane had nothing to offer. I'd already got the chewing gum. The gum was well chewed, and it was a very... I needed to try something else. That wouldn't have worked. No. Inspect.
Yes?
What flavor do you think?
I do not...
At least now the... George.
And you...